So this is Spelunky. It's coming out on XBLA soon. We've been working on the game for about 2 years. It is a randomly generated platform game. So I'll get into the game here. So we won the Excellence in Design Award at the show just last night. So the gist of the game is that you're an explorer. You're trying to get as much treasure as you can and descend in the caves. But you never know kind of what it's going to throw at you. We took the elements of, I guess, roguelikes and mixed it with platform games. So a lot of the fun of the game comes from discovering the different items and monsters and the interactions that can kind of come from that. We'll get started here in a second. So you can pick up items, throw them, and you'll see some treasure come out. And I fell a little bit too far there. So what you're basically trying to do is conserve your resources to see how far you can make it down in the caves. The game is very kind of calculated and measured in like how you're trying to play through it. You really want to pace yourself, and you got to take some risks so that you have good items and you can make progress in the game. But at the same time, you only have 4 hearts to begin with, so you can very easily die, and it's permadeath. Once you die, you're back to the beginning. But it's not so bad because when the levels are random, when you start back up, you're never going to be playing through level 1 again. It'll always be different, a different experience. So the other things that we've added, I guess some people might know that this was originally a PC game that the designer of the game, Derek Yu, made in Game Maker. We've added a bunch of things to the game. There's new areas, new monsters, new items. We also added 4-player multiplayer. So the original game was a single-player experience only. This lets you play 4 players co-op or in deathmatch. And we kind of have some resurrection mechanics. So if your player dies, they can still continue in the game as a ghost and can kind of affect the world in different ways. And then later in the game, the players that are still alive can find coffins and pull them back up into the game. So it does make the game a little bit easier in some ways, but the chaos that it causes with all the players on screen can be pretty dangerous. So you have to be careful if you have a shotgun where you're aiming. And you can see here's a store. So this is where you're going to find most of the items in the game, and you can purchase them. And I'll show you here this shopkeeper. He's a nice guy until you cross him, and then they kind of stay mad at you for the rest of the game. So I'll kind of I'll kind of take him out here, and so now I'm actually able to go into the store and kind of like loot everything that he was selling. But now for the rest of the game, there will be, if I come across a shop, the shopkeeper will have a wanted poster with my face on it, and will be ready to kill me as soon as I appear. And there will also be a guard at the end of the exit, at the end of each level, kind of waiting to try to kill you as well. So, you know, you get free items that way, but at the same time, you're really upping the difficulty of the game in general. There's also these damsels. You can pick them up and rescue them, and that'll actually, I'll rescue her here. She'll actually give me a kiss, which will give me life back. So, I mean, that's kind of the general gist of how the game plays. And I'll show you one more thing. So, you know, if you get greedy in the game, there's always consequences for it. So, you know, this is obviously very expensive, something you want to be getting in the game. But if I pick it up, got to get out of the way here. So a giant boulder will come. So there's kind of all sorts of booby traps that you have to work your way around. And you can usually, if you know what you're doing, you can kind of trick the booby trap, or you can prepare for it so that it doesn't really get you. So yeah, so that's, I think, a pretty good rundown of the game. So it should be coming out this summer at the latest. We're finishing up now, so we're close.